An introduction to Earth's mightiest rampart. What is the Great Wall? The Great Wall of China. You have probably heard of it. It is one of humanity's most ambitious construction projects. Imagine a wall so long it could stretch across entire continents. This is not a single, continuous wall. It is a series of fortifications. These walls were built over centuries, by different emperors and dynasties. They snake across mountains, deserts, and grasslands. The Great Wall stands as a powerful symbol. It tells a story of defense, engineering, and immense human effort. Why build such a massive structure? The primary reason was protection. Ancient China faced threats from nomadic groups to the north. These groups were skilled horsemen. They often raided Chinese settlements for food and resources. The wall was meant to be a barrier. It was designed to keep these invaders out. It also served as a way to control trade and immigration along China's borders. Think of it as a very long, very strong fence. The Great Wall is not just one wall but many segments. Its total length is truly staggering. If you added up all its branches, it would measure over 21,000 kilometers. That is more than half the Earth's circumference. The story of the Great Wall often begins with one powerful figure. His name was Qin Shi Huang. He was the first emperor of a unified China, around 221 BC. Before him, China was divided into several warring states. These states had built their own defensive walls. They were smaller, separate fortifications. Qin Shi Huang conquered these states. He brought them together under his rule. He envisioned a single, massive empire. And this empire needed a single, massive line of defense to protect its northern frontier from the Xiongnu nomadic tribes. Emperor Qin ordered the connection and extension of these existing walls. This was a monumental undertaking. Hundreds of thousands of workers were conscripted. Many were soldiers, many others were convicts or ordinary peasants forced into labor. The conditions were harsh. The terrain was difficult, crossing mountains and deserts. The goal was to create a unified barrier. This barrier would protect his new empire. It would also be a symbol of his power and the unity of China. After the fall of the Qin dynasty, the Han dynasty rose to power. They ruled China for over 400 years, from 206 BC to 220 AD. The Han emperors also faced threats from the Xiongnu and other northern peoples. So, they continued the work on the Great Wall. They extended it further west, deep into the Gobi Desert. This western extension was crucial. It helped protect the valuable Silk Road trade routes. These routes connected China to Central Asia and even Europe. The Han Wall was a lifeline for commerce and cultural exchange, not just a military barrier. The Han dynasty employed different construction techniques. They still used rammed earth in many areas, but they also developed more sophisticated methods. They used layers of gravel and tamarisk branches in desert regions. This helped create surprisingly durable sections of the wall. Watchtowers were built at regular intervals. These towers served as signal stations. Soldiers could use smoke signals by day and fire signals by night. This allowed for rapid communication along the vast length of the wall. It was an ancient information superhighway made of earth and fire. When we picture the Great Wall of China today, we are usually thinking of the Ming Dynasty's version. The Ming Dynasty ruled from 1368 to 1644 AD. They were responsible for the most extensive and sophisticated period of Great Wall construction. After overthrowing the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty, the Ming emperors were deeply concerned about renewed Mongol threats. They saw the wall as their primary defense. They invested enormous resources in building and fortifying it. This was their grand strategy for national security, a stone shield against the north. The Ming Wall was an engineering marvel. Unlike earlier rammed earth constructions, the Ming builders used bricks and stone slabs extensively. This made the wall much stronger and more durable. They built elaborate watchtowers, fortresses, and barracks along its length. These structures were strategically placed on mountain ridges and at important passes. The design was carefully considered. For example, the walls were often built with crenellations for archers. They had pathways wide enough for soldiers and horses to move quickly along the top. It was a complex defensive system, not just a simple barrier. Many of the most famous sections of the Great Wall, such as Badaling and Mutianyu near Beijing, are Ming constructions. These sections showcase the impressive scale and architectural skill of the Ming builders. They incorporated advanced features like cannons and sophisticated signaling systems. When we picture the Great Wall of China today, we are usually thinking of the Ming Dynasty's version. The Ming dynasty ruled from 1368 to 1644 AD. They were responsible for the most extensive and sophisticated period of Great Wall construction. After overthrowing the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty, the Ming emperors were deeply concerned about renewed Mongol threats. They saw the wall as their primary defense. They invested enormous resources in building and fortifying it. This was their grand strategy for national security, a stone shield against the north. The Ming Wall was an engineering marvel. Unlike earlier rammed earth constructions, the Ming builders used bricks and stone slabs extensively. This made the wall much stronger and more durable. They built elaborate watchtowers, fortresses, and barracks along its length. These structures were strategically placed on mountain ridges and at important passes. The design was carefully considered. For example, the walls were often built with crenellations for archers. They had pathways wide enough for soldiers and horses to move quickly along the top. It was a complex defensive system, not just a simple barrier. Many of the most famous sections of the Great Wall, such as Badaling and Mutianyu near Beijing, are Ming constructions. These sections showcase the impressive scale and architectural skill of the Ming builders. They incorporated advanced features like cannons and sophisticated signaling systems. Section 5. Beyond the tourist trails, discovering the wild and ruined wall. While sections like Badaling are famous and meticulously restored, they represent only a small fraction of the Great Wall. Much of the wall lies far from the usual tourist paths. These are the wild wall sections. They offer a more authentic and often challenging glimpse into the past. These unrestored parts wind through remote mountains and desolate landscapes. They are often overgrown with vegetation or crumbling into ruins. Exploring these areas feels like stepping back in time, away from the crowds and souvenir shops. It is here you can truly feel the immense scale and solitude of the ancient defenses. These lesser-known sections reveal fascinating details. You might find unique watchtower designs. Some towers are round, others square, reflecting different builders or purposes. You can see the original materials like rough-hewn stones or ancient weathered bricks. In some desert areas, the wall is barely visible, just a low mound of earth and reeds. Yet even these humble remnants tell a story of human endeavor in harsh environments. These sections are often more vulnerable to erosion and human activity. Their preservation is a significant concern for historians and conservationists. One such example is the Jiangku section. It is known for its dramatic steepness and rugged beauty. Section 6. Ingenuity carved in stone and earth engineering the Colossus. Building the Great Wall was an extraordinary feat of engineering. Consider the challenges. The wall traverses incredibly diverse terrain. It climbs steep mountains. It crosses vast deserts. It winds through dense forests. The ancient Chinese engineers and builders had to adapt their techniques and materials to each environment. They did this without the benefit of modern power tools or advanced surveying equipment. Their ingenuity was remarkable. They relied on keen observation, practical experience, and sheer human effort. The choice of materials was crucial. In mountainous regions, builders used locally quarried stone. Large stone blocks formed the outer casing of the wall. The interior was often filled with rubble, earth, and smaller stones. In areas with lowest soil, like the plains of central China, they used rammed earth. This involved compacting layers of earth within wooden frames. This technique created surprisingly strong and durable walls. In desert regions, they sometimes used layers of sand, pebbles, and tamarisk branches. This ingenious method helped bind the shifting sands. The construction of watchtowers and fortresses required even greater skill. Section 7. Bricks, mortar, and mountains overcoming construction challenges. The construction of the Great Wall was not just about clever design, it was about overcoming immense physical challenges. The sheer scale of the project was daunting. Imagine organizing and feeding millions of workers spread across thousands of kilometers. This required a massive logistical operation. Food, water, tools, and building materials all had to be transported to remote and often inhospitable locations. This task alone was a monumental undertaking for any dynasty. The success of the wall depended as much on organization as it did on engineering. The terrain itself was a formidable opponent. Builders faced treacherous mountain ranges. Some peaks were so steep that just climbing them was a challenge, let alone hauling heavy stones. They worked in extreme weather conditions. Scorching summers in the deserts, bitterly cold winters in the northern regions, landslides, earthquakes, and flash floods were constant threats. Workers had to clear forests, level ground, and sometimes even divert rivers. Every meter of the wall represented a battle against nature, a testament to human persistence in the face of adversity. One of the most ingenious solutions was the use of local materials. Section 8. The longest cemetery on Earth, the human cost of the Great Wall. The Great Wall of China is an awe-inspiring achievement, but its grandeur came at a terrible human cost. It is often referred to as the longest cemetery on Earth. This grim nickname reflects the countless lives lost during its construction. Millions of people toiled to build this massive fortification over many centuries. The working conditions were brutal, accidents were frequent, disease was rampant. Many workers died from exhaustion, starvation, or injuries. Their bodies were often buried within the wall itself or in unmarked graves nearby. The workforce was largely made up of conscripted laborers. These included soldiers, peasants, and prisoners. During the Qin dynasty, Emperor Qin Shi Huang mobilized a massive workforce, estimated to be hundreds of thousands strong. Many were farmers, taken from their fields and families. They were forced to work in harsh and unfamiliar environments. The work was relentless, often continuing day and night. Food supplies were often inadequate. Shelter was rudimentary. Section 9. A timeless sentinel, the Great Wall's enduring legacy and symbolism. Today, the Great Wall of China stands as more than an ancient military defense. It has evolved into a powerful global symbol. It represents the enduring strength and resilience of the Chinese nation. For centuries, it has captured the imagination of travelers, poets, and artists. It is a testament to human ambition and collective effort. Its cultural and historical significance continues to grow. It is a landmark that speaks across time. The Great Wall is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This designation recognizes its outstanding universal value. It attracts millions of tourists from around the world each year. Visitors come to walk its ramparts and marvel at its scale. For many Chinese people, the wall is a source of national pride. It is a reminder of their country's rich past and its ability to overcome challenges. The saying, "He who has not climbed the Great Wall is not a true man," reflects this deep cultural connection. It embodies a spirit of perseverance and achievement. However, the Great Wall also faces challenges in the modern era. Preservation is a major concern. Many sections, especially the Wild Wall, are threatened by erosion, weathering, and human activity. Efforts are underway to protect and conserve this vast archaeological site.